How about it? From the back to the front, Ross Chastain wins the Coca-Cola 600.
What if the greatest NASCAR comeback didn't happen on the track, but after the race ended? Ross Chastain didn't just win the 2025 Coca-Cola 600, he made history. And then, just moments after victory lane, chaos struck. Ross Chastain's win wasn't supposed to happen. Not from 40th place, not in a backup car, and definitely not against a guy who dominated 283 laps. But NASCAR has always been a stage for the unthinkable. This time, it delivered one of the wildest finishes in Cup Series history. Let's rewind. Chastain didn't even qualify with his main car. A wreck during practice forced Trackhouse Racing to roll out the backup. The odds were stacked against him. No driver had ever won the Coca-Cola 600 from the last starting position since NASCAR entered the modern era. But Chastain, he doesn't play by history's rules. Ross Chastain stunned with his last to first drive in a backup car at the Coca-Cola 600, making history as the first driver to win from 40th in NASCAR's longest race. William Byron had the car to beat. He swept the first 3 stages, led more than half the race, and looked untouchable. He was fresh off a 4-year contract extension with Hendrick Motorsports, and he was driving like he wanted to prove he was worth every penny. For 395 laps, it looked like he was about to cruise to one of the most dominant wins of his career. But the final 5 laps changed everything. Chastain had quietly clawed his way through the field, saving his best for the end. When the moment came, he pounced. Byron's car got loose, just slightly. That was all Chastain needed. With a daring inside move, he surged ahead and never looked back. He led just 8 laps. That's all it took. The crowd went wild. Commentators were stunned. And Chastain, he celebrated the only way he knows how, by smashing a watermelon in victory lane, a nod to his roots and family tradition. It should have ended there. But this race wasn't done delivering surprises.
I gotta tell you, Ross, when you started 40th today, did you think that this was even possible?
As he returned to pit road, a fan wearing a blue hoodie approached his car. At first, it seemed like a normal moment, just someone wanting to congratulate a new champion. Then, in a blink, the fan reached in and snatched Chastain's #1 jockey hat straight off his head. "I got your hat!" the fan shouted, sprinting away.
And then he just pulled the hat, and then he did this little dance, and he said, "I got your hat."
For Chastain, that hat wasn't just apparel. It rode with him every race placed on the transmission tunnel. It was personal, symbolic, a part of his ritual. And now, it was stolen. Chastain's reaction was immediate. "Give me that hat back!" he yelled. The entire moment was captured on his in-car camera. Security and team members swarmed, quickly apprehending the fan and returning the hat. Crisis averted, but the bizarre moment became an instant viral sensation.
I was like, "I'll give it back," and he ran away, and I was like, I just shut the car off. I pointed.
It was a wild ending to a story already bursting with drama. Post-race inspection added one final note. Chastain's car passed with flying colors. No penalties, no issues. His win was official. The comeback was real. Meanwhile, William Byron could only watch and wonder how it all slipped away. He admitted later that the car just loosened up at the wrong moment. It wasn't a mistake. It was racing. Still, the frustration was evident. Leading 283 laps and not winning, that stings. It's just frustrating. A dejected Byron said shortly after exiting his vehicle, "Don't really have the words for it." In the days that followed, fans and analysts debated where this ranked among NASCAR's greatest finishes. Some called it the best in recent memory. Others pointed to Chastain's drive as a masterclass in patience and strategy. One thing was clear. This race wouldn't be forgotten, and Trackhouse Racing, they proved they're not just a feel-good story, they're a serious contender. Chastain's win marked the 6th of his career and his 1st of the season, but it might be the most important one yet. It cemented his status as more than a disruptor. He's a force. The symbolism of the hat theft lingered. As absurd as it was, it highlighted something deeper. Chastain's win wasn't just about a trophy. It was about everything he brings to the sport: passion, unpredictability, and a refusal to quit. From the last row to the top step, Chastain didn't just defy expectations. He rewrote them. And somewhere in all that chaos, NASCAR reminded us why we watch. for the moments we never see coming. Because sometimes the real story begins after the checkered flag falls. When the green flag dropped on NASCAR's longest and most grueling race, the spotlight wasn't on Ross Chastain. In fact, he was barely in the conversation. Starting from 40th place in a backup car, his odds were long. Most people had written him off before the first lap. But Chastain wasn't there for the headlines. He was there to race. Every lap was a test of endurance and patience. Slowly, methodically, he climbed the field. No flashy moves, no unnecessary risks, just consistency, speed, and belief. His team executed perfectly. Timely pit stops, smart strategy, and calm under pressure. It was textbook underdog racing. Meanwhile, Byron was running away with the show. He led stage after stage, collecting points and widening the gap. His Hendrick Chevy looked unbeatable. Every time someone got close, he pulled away. Fans were already penciling his name in as the winner. But NASCAR has a way of flipping the script. Byron's grip started to loosen with 10 laps to go. It was slight, almost imperceptible. But Chastain noticed. He stayed close, waited, and then struck. With 6 laps remaining, he made his move. Byron tried to defend, but his car couldn't hold the line. Chastain shot past and sealed the deal.
Chastain to the inside.
Ross
Is it a slide
Chastain
job?
drives down low, slides up high. Is there room?
Oh, the 24
Ross
is in the wall.
Chastain to the lead.
The
Unbelievable.
garage exploded. Drivers, crew chiefs, and fans were in disbelief. Not because Chastain won, but because of how he did it. From dead last, in a backup car, in a race dominated by someone else. And then, just when it seemed the drama was over, that fan made their move. The hat wasn't just any hat. It was a symbol of perseverance, of tradition, of a driver who carries his roots into every race. The attempted theft made headlines almost as big as the win itself. It was bizarre, chaotic, and pure NASCAR. Security tackled the situation fast, but the footage was already viral. It showed a raw, unfiltered moment of a driver defending something that meant more than people realized. And in doing so, it gave fans another reason to connect with Chastain. This wasn't just about racing. It was about grit, identity, and a driver who doesn't just race with his hands, he races with his heart. Ross Chastain's Coca-Cola 600 win wasn't clean or easy. It was gritty. It was emotional. And above all, it was unforgettable. In the weeks ahead, this race will be replayed, reanalyzed, and relived countless times. And each time, someone will find something new, a detail, a move, a reaction that adds to the legend. Because that's what this was, a legendary moment in NASCAR history. One that began in the shadows of the field and ended in the spotlight of chaos. And Ross Chastain, he wouldn't have it any other way. If you thought this race was wild, just wait. We've got more untold stories from the track coming your way. Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your favorite moment, and don't forget to like the video if Ross Chastain's win gave you chills. This is just the beginning.